I'm a concerned citizen, grandparent, and a retired elementary school teacher.
These are the final weeks before a big vote.
I'm here today because I deserve to be seen.
A vote that will shape how Colorado students learn about their state and their country's history. Wednesday, the State Board of Education heard even more public feedback.
The originally proposed revisions to the state standards reflected the wave of social justice activism that has seeped into too many of our schools.
If you believe elementary schoolers can be taught about events like the War of Independence, but not about the existence of a diverse population, you aren't truly worried about what's appropriate for them or what they can handle.
A state law passed in 2019 now requires Colorado's public schools to include the historical, cultural, and social contributions of several minority groups when teaching Colorado history, U.S. history, and government. Draft 1, written by a diverse commission appointed under that new law, drew some criticism from conservatives and families who say it went too far.
Everyone involved in education of our students carries a special burden and responsibility at this polarizing time, and it's still among our young people a sense of common identity as Americans.
Draft 2, edited by a separate review committee, also drew criticism for its cuts, such as several references of specific minority groups crossed out for the simpler diverse perspectives, and no mentions about the LGBTQ community in grades K through 3.
Love is love, and when we teach our kids about LGBTQ+, we are not talking about their sexual encounters, we are talking about their stories and perspectives.
Democratic State Representative Serena Gonzalez Gutierrez helped write that original law, and along with many others, she's disappointed in the revised version and is now pushing the board to adopt the original, broader recommendations.
We had these expectations, and now we are in a place where we are still having to defend and make sure that that the State School Board of Ed knows what the legislative intent was of this policy.
Today, the State School Board approved some revised standards for civics and media literacy. The Democratic Majority Board voted down a conservative member's proposal to start all over from scratch on this section with totally new civic standards using a model backed by many conservative groups. Again, that was voted down. The vote on the minority group's inclusion, that will likely be in November or December. By the way, there is an election in November. This vote is scheduled to happen before the new board is seated in January, Kyle.
And Jenny, that push for a new kind of conservative-minded history curriculum, that's a push that's being made like all across the country right now.
We're seeing a lot of parallels with what's happening in Colorado compared to what's happening with the national landscape, yes. But again, on this particular board, on this particular issue, it did not go through.
All right. Jenny Meckles, thank you.